What's up guys, my name is Tausif Hussain and today we're going to be talking about the brand new iPhone 7s Plus. Okay, that joke is super overplayed now. I'm talking about the brand new iPhone 8 Plus. Now, I had actually stayed up till 3 AM on pre-order night just so I could cop these phones for you guys. Unfortunately, I was not able to get all the phones that I pre-ordered thanks to UPS. For some unforeseen circumstances, it was not delivered to my house on time. However, I did get my hands on the brand new iPhone 8 Plus. A lot of people have been coming up to me and they've been asking me if they should upgrade from the iPhone 7 Plus to the iPhone 8 Plus and if it makes sense. I'm going to be quickly discussing if the price difference between these two is actually worth it to switch from this guy to this guy and if the differences are justifiable. So without further ado, let's get started. At first glance, this device looks super aged now. This design is the 4th generation of its kind. The design feels really outdated by now. But the iPhone 8 is the most polished and best iteration of this design, no doubt about that. Kind of like the culmination of this particular design language to come to this iPhone 8 and now officially change to the iPhone 10. But honestly, when I got my hands on the Galaxy S8 and the S8 Plus, and even now my Note 8, which I'm reviewing currently, so if you're interested in that, then please do subscribe to my channel and hit that notification button. The outdatedness of this design with the clunky bezels really starts to take a toll on you. Now, honestly, from afar, you can't really tell the difference between these two. However, when you do come closer or feel the phone, you can tell the difference between them. Even though they do look similar, I actually kind of dig the new feel of the glass back. It provides a little more grip and it gives a little more of a premium feel to the device. Now first, we're going to start off by talking about some of the external differences. So no doubt the biggest change in the iPhone 8 Plus versus the iPhone 7 Plus is the glass back. Apple has claimed that this is the toughest smartphone glass to be on any phone right now. Let's test that. This is not a drop test channel by any means, so yeah, we're not doing that. However, I'm unsure how the scratch resistance on this glass is going to be. Now that's something that I'd be interested to see, however, also not something that I'm going to do to my device. In terms of the display, as I mentioned earlier, it's pretty much the exact same display that you have on the iPhone 7 Plus, so that's not really a differentiating factor. However, the new iPhone 8 Plus does have True Tone display. Now, True Tone display is actually kind of cool. The iPad Pros have had it, and I really dig that feature. But other than that, the display size and the display resolution is exactly the same between the iPhone 7 Plus and the iPhone 8 Plus. The iPhone 8 Plus also has the same IP67 rating that the iPhone 7 Plus had. Now this is kind of behind the market because some of the Android phones now are coming out with the IP68 rating for water and dust resistance. Now the only difference between IP67 and IP68, I believe, is how deep you can take the phone underwater. So if you're just looking for basic waterproofing, then you should be good on that front. Now one thing to note is the iPhone 8 Plus is actually 14 grams heavier than the iPhone 7 Plus. Another added feature of the iPhone 8 Plus, because now it has the glass back, you're able to use it with wireless charging. Now, a lot of people have been hating on Apple because it took them so long to bring wireless charging to the board. Now, I know it did take a long time. I mean, my toothbrush has had wireless charging like since 2008. However, now that Apple has brought wireless charging, it's great news for all of us because now it just means that we're gonna see a lot more wireless charging out in the open. I'm really glad Apple did not make wireless charging a proprietary thing with the iPhone. So it's awesome that you can use any Qi certified wireless charger with the phone. So all in all, if we can sum up the main external differences between the iPhone 8 Plus and the iPhone 7 Plus, it's that it has a glass back, it has wireless charging, and it has True Tone display. That's pretty much about it for external differences. Okay, let's talk about the internal differences now. In this category, we actually have a few more differences. There's two big ones and then there are a few smaller ones. Let's talk about the smaller ones first. Number one, the iPhone 8 Plus is set to have 25% louder speakers compared to the iPhone 7 Plus. I think it does sound a little bit louder. However, it's not something that I would pay extra money for. That's just me. Number 2, the iPhone 8 Plus comes with Bluetooth 5.0 versus the iPhone 7 Plus had the previous version of Bluetooth, which was 4.2. The main differences are Bluetooth 5.0 will give you a longer range, they will allow larger data transfers, and they're also more energy efficient. And last but not least, the AR capabilities. Now, I don't think personally that the applications and dev support is there yet to get a lot of neat content consumption for this, but it is something to keep your eyes on as more and more developers jump on board over time. It's one of those things where you're super excited about it for like the first 2 weeks, and then after that it's like, yeah, I haven't used it in like a year. So now let's talk about the first big difference, which is the most talked about right now online, and that is the camera. The camera on both these phones are pretty much the same in terms of specs. It's the same megapixel count, it's the same aperture count for both the front and back camera. However, Apple has claimed that there's a new sensor now. So not only does the new iPhone 8 Plus have a better camera, which produces better dynamic range and has larger pixels and gives a little bit better overall quality, but the video modes on this are insane. The new iPhone 8 Plus can do 4K at 24 frames per second, 30 frames per second, and up to 60 frames per second. And it can also shoot slow motion in 1080p at up to 240 frames per second. Now that's pretty insane if you think about it. So it's pretty amazing what Apple has done with what it has put inside this phone. It's really given filmmakers and content creators a lot they can do just with the phone that they have in their hand. I'm just trying to imagine the amount of smooth footage we can get. Like, just throw this thing on a gimbal and take it out with you. Woohoo! There's so much opportunity for this phone. Now, the second biggest change in the iPhone 8 Plus is the GPU and CPU performance. Now, the chip in this phone is an absolute beast. To put this into perspective, this chip performs on par with an Intel Core i7 powered 13-inch MacBook Pro. The OS is super snappy, everything is really quick, apps open super quick, they close super quick. However, I feel Apple has already achieved most of this with the previous iteration, the iPhone 7 Plus. But this phone just further hammers it down and distances itself from any possibilities of lagging. So that's about it for the differences between the iPhone 7 Plus and the iPhone 8 Plus. Now, to sum up the internal differences, there are pretty much a few small ones like Bluetooth, louder speakers, and better AR capabilities, and the bigger differences being the processor on the new one and the GPU on the new one being faster and better than the old one, and the cameras being slightly better on the new one compared to the old one. Okay, so overall, do I think it's worth the upgrade from the iPhone 7 Plus to the iPhone 8 Plus? Do I think it's worth your money? I think this phone falls into a very special niche. Number one, let's say you own the iPhone 7 Plus or the iPhone 7. Should you upgrade to this guy? Well, I personally don't think so, because the user experience upgrade that you get on this guy is not that much greater than this one, and a lot of the changes and differences on this one make it really feel like just like another spec bump iPhone. So I personally wouldn't spend that money if you already own the iPhone 7 or 7 Plus. Number two, if you want the latest and greatest from Apple, then I still wouldn't buy this guy, because literally in a month's time, you're getting the brand new iPhone X out in the market. So at that point, you probably want to upgrade to that guy. So who is it exactly for? It's for somebody who's on a previous iteration of the iPhone and they just want to upgrade to the newest iPhone, and they maybe don't want to spend that $200 to $300 extra on the iPhone X. Maybe they're used to the design of the iPhone and they like having the home button, or they really dig that iPhone 8 gold color. And I mean, don't get me wrong, this phone is a phenomenal phone. It's super powerful, and it's good to know that in a month and a half's time, when the iPhone X comes out, then this phone is not left in the dust, because it has the same processor, the same GPU, pretty much the same internals for the most part as the iPhone X. So it's not like you're really gonna be lagging behind. Alright guys, that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope this video was helpful to you and helped make that decision. And if you know anybody else who is also trying to make that decision and is considering buying the new iPhone 8 Plus, then please go ahead and share this video with them. with that being said, if you found this video helpful and you like this video, then please go ahead and crush that like button. If you like content around tech, gadgets, and filmmaking, then please go ahead and smash that subscribe button. And as usual, I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.